Evening guys, welcome to another devotional. Today we are in Hebrews and we're going to be reading the first two verses of Hebrews, which says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion, who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne." I was chatting with a couple of friends of mine today, and we got onto the topic in a random conversation, how when you're on the road, you might see an accident, and immediately, as you see that accident, your eyes are drawn to it. And as your eyes are drawn to it, you suddenly notice yourself veering out of your lane, either towards the accident, or if you think, hey, you know what, I know I'm probably going to be needing to correct myself, you end up overcorrecting yourself. But either way, you're going off the path that you should be going on. And it reminded me, there's several years ago now, there was an accident outside one of my friend's houses. A guy was driving down a road too fast, ended up crashing into a hedge, and basically his car was like wedged in the hedge and completely wrecked the hedge. And then we were like, oh wow, man, okay, let's go check if this guy's okay. And what ended up happening about just not long after, just a few minutes afterwards, another guy was coming down the road and crashed into a post box just maybe 100 meters down the road further on. And he crashed because he was so busy looking at the guy who was inside the hedge in his car that he ended up veering off the course and crashing straight into this post box and completely uprooted it. Anyway, what happened was he was too busy focusing on what he shouldn't have been focusing on, and ended up getting off the path that he should have been on, which was the road, and ended up trying to mail himself somewhere, obviously. So what we set our eyes on is where we're going to end up heading, really. And in the car, when you're looking at an accident, it might be, something weird on the side of the road, and you end up veering off your course, veering off where you should be going. And it works the same with our spiritual lives. We can focus so much on not doing certain sins. We can focus so much on not sinning. We can focus so much on, oh, thou shalt not, focusing so much on the do nots, that actually we end up doing them a lot more than if we were really focusing on what we should be focusing on, which is the road ahead of us, which is the one that we are actually heading towards. And instead of actually looking at the, hey, I must not do this, and living our lives like that, instead we're reminded in Scripture, here in Hebrews, as well as a lot of other places, what we should be setting our eyes on. And that's Jesus, who is the author and perfecter of our faith. The one who has set it out before us, the one who we are heading towards, and the one who is with us as we actually drive this road that we need to keep our eyes fixed on where we should be heading, and as we run the race set before us. Focusing on him means that we're focusing on what is good and pleasing and perfect, like it reminds us in Romans of how actually he is going to renew our minds. And in turn, as we focus our eyes on Jesus, we're going to find ourselves focusing on what is good. We're going to find ourselves actually doing and focusing on what is good. And when we're doing that, we find that our mind is filled with those good things that we are doing, not with what is those things that we are saying, oh no, I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, I need to focus on not doing those things. But instead, you think about, if I fill my time with good things, do I have time? If I have completely filled it with good things, do I have time left for those bad things? No. So, instead we're focusing on Jesus, who is the author and perfecter of our faith. And as we focus on him, as we focus on our relationship with him, we actually find that we're sinning less because we're filling our time, our minds, our hearts with what is good. We're filling it with Jesus Christ and not with the sin of this world, which we don't want to get caught up in. So I want to encourage you guys, as well as myself, with this scripture. Let's set our eyes on Jesus, who is the author and perfecter of our faith. God bless you guys. Good night.